when a community finally gets tired of empty promises and decides to become the change it's been waiting for. That's what happened in Wyandotte County. And tonight, you'll see why it matters to every single one of us. I watched as Mr. Jermaine Howard took the mic. His voice was both steady and humble. He wasn't alone. Around him stood a team of tireless workers, each one a pillar in the movement to make Wyandotte County better. The conflict was clear. For years, Wyandotte County had struggled decades of broken promises, neglected neighborhoods, and missing opportunities had left people tired and communities fractured. In the United States, nearly 20% of communities with high minority populations report feeling left out of local government decisions. In Wyandotte County, crime had shifted, resources felt scarce, and hope was stretched thin. Only 67% of local students were regularly attending school before new engagement programs were launched. Jermaine states, "I was tired of waiting for the government to fix things, tired of seeing the community stuck. So Jermaine decided to act." Jermaine states, "I will do more than belong. I will participate. I will do more than care. I will help. I will do more than dream. I will work." The room went quiet. Not out of doubt, but out of shared recognition. This was the turning point. Every voice on stage, every story echoed the same thing. If we don't do it, who will? They weren't just talking about problems, they were showing solutions. Problems for the youth that increased school attendance from 67% to 98%. A housing vision where every abandoned house could become a home. As I watched and filmed this event, I realized this wasn't just a meeting, it was a movement. History tells us that real change always starts with small groups. As the night went on, it was clear this wasn't just about one leader, one event, or one problem. This was about we. Not me. Jermaine Howard states, "Every person in this room has become a part of a solution panel." Did you know that communities that hold regular meetings and greets with local leaders report up to 30% higher civic engagement? But we also face the hard truth. Not every door would open. When Joe Black brought his education program home, the school board said no, but he kept going, taking his mission to another school and changing lives anyway. By the end of the night, hope felt possible again. We had honored our past, faced our present, and laid out a plan for the future. The real heroes weren't just the ones with titles. They were mothers, fathers, builders, teachers, and dreamers, sitting right in front of me as I filmed every moment. And as I stood there, I understood the why of this story. And it was simple. Because we are enough. Because when a community comes together, it can build the future it deserves. Because the next chapter and Wyandotte County's history will be written by the people starting tonight. I am Jackie Terry, and this is a presentation speech of Jermaine Howard.
Thank you all for taking your Friday night to come out with us, spend time with us. If you look on the tables there's a little bit of information about Mr. Jermaine. There's also a QR code there to donate. So if you would love to donate to this amazing effort, that would be so awesome, and we would truly appreciate it. We have an awesome panel lined up for you tonight. You're not just going to meet Mr. Howard, you're going to meet the team behind Mr. Howard, the amazing community behind Mr. Howard, the amazing people that are just helping flourish this community the way it needs to be. So, without further ado, I will hand the mic over to Mr. Jermaine Howard himself. He will be the moderator this evening. Here you go.
I appreciate everybody for coming out. But before we get started, really would kill me if I didn't pray us in. So if everybody can bow their head. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you for allowing us to make it in here today. We ask that you continue to be with us. We ask that you continue to be with those that are on their way here. We ask you to be with those that are on their way to another destination. We ask for an informative and successful meet and greet for tonight. And Lord, we ask that you continue to pour into us, keep us safe as we pray in your name. Amen. So first, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I have something that I would like to read before we get started, and then we'll go from there. What I will do more. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, I will do. I will do more than belong. I will participate. I will do more than care. I will help. I will do more than believe. I will practice. I will do more than be fair. I will be kind. I will do more than dream. I will work. I will do more than teach. I will inspire. I will do more than earn. I will enrich. I will do more than give. I will serve. Yes, sir. I will do more than live. I will grow. I will do more than talk. I will act. Yes, sir. I will be more than good. I will be good for something. I am, you are, fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, sir. I want to bring attention to my team before we start, because as I read that, there was a lot of eyes, but as most of you know, I like to use the slogan, we, not we. That's important to me because the majority of my life, it's been nothing but people pouring into me, people providing for me, and like Ms. Hill said earlier, the good Lord preparing me to be in this place today. And so as I look around, most of you, the common denominator for most of you being here is me. And so the only way I could be here is by showing love to the people that made many sacrifices that are here today and no longer here. So I'm very grateful, very, very thankful and honored to be before you, because I get an opportunity to serve at one of the highest capacities. So before I do that, I just would like to shed light on my team, that they work tirelessly every single day. And not only that, I'd like to display for you all what it takes in order to serve a community. It's going to take a solid team behind you to support you and make sure that you're in your right state of mind. It's going to take a team to support you and make sure that you're not over speaking about the days you're available and the days you're not available. You need people to make sure that your schedule is on point. And you need people to be the buffer, to the community. And so before I move any forward, again, I'd just like to point out my treasurer, Antoine Jones, if you could stand for me. His lovely wife, Nicole Jones, which is the secretary. I'd also like to pay homage to my campaign manager, who's been the glue of what we've been doing. And so I appreciate you, Ms. Campbell. I also want to thank T. Linda where she is. She's at the table. She's the enforcer. To make sure I put in order as well. I'd also like to give a shout out to Jacob Handy, who is running for District 8. Also, Miss Pam Hicks, and you are running for school board? Okay. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Mrs. Fanny Hill with the War Cry community. I appreciate you so much. Brother Covington, we love you and we appreciate you. You know who you are. And Mr. Barnes, we appreciate Mr. Barnes for providing a space for us and so much that he's done for the community. Former commissioner for Mr. Barnes. So I appreciate it. So let me get to it and then I'll let you all get out of here. A big reason for me to run for commissioner was that I was simply just tired, and I don't want to make it too complicated, but I was just simply tired of the way the government was operating. I was simply tired of the way the community looked. I was just tired. So I had heard many stories of how things used to be. I heard many stories of how things could be, but at the end of the day, I don't see anybody putting it into action. I don't see anybody doing anything. And so what I wanted to do today is I wanted to display just three things, honestly. Three of my points and three of the things that I'm really focused on. While I know that there's a lot of pressing issues that are happening here in Wyandotte County, we only have so many arms. And so I wanted to do a town hall or a meet and greet, which is something different than most of our candidates have been doing. What I wanted to do is I wanted to display the people that are in the community every single day that I consult with. The people where we have real conversations about our community, the conversations where we talk about us not having or getting the opportunities in order to do what we want to do in the community. And everybody wants to give back in some way, but it's just finding out what way that is, right? What are you passionate to do? What did God put you on this earth to do? And so for me, when we talk about we and not me, my only goal has to be to connect with others who are experts in their own right and who are uniquely gifted to tackle the issues that we experience every single day in Wyandotte County. And for me, it starts with District 1, born and raised in the district. Not much has changed. Crime has changed a little, right? Well, I'll say a lot. If you really know the areas, you know Juniper Gardens and Gateway and just Quindaro in itself, we know the activity. So it's no longer that, but at the end of the day, what I have sitting up here today are unique individuals, and they all are experts in their own right, and they all are doing amazing work in the community, but they just don't feel like they're able to do that here in Wyandotte County. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of just walk down a path of who they are and the person that you have in front of you, who he'll be working with to make sure we're tackling these issues every single day. Because I can tell you, it's not gonna be me by myself. It's gonna be those who are up late at night thinking about what they're working on to contribute to the community. And I know it to be true. And these are not the only ones, right? These are just a few, but what I wanted to do for you all is just showcase the work that people are doing every single day here. And not only just that, some of the issues that I'd like to tackle and how we'll get there. So I'll let them introduce themselves and then we'll go from there. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Macklin. I go by Joe Black. I'm a music producer, born and raised in Wyandotte County. My name is Joseph Macklin. I go by Joe Black. I'm a music producer. Been blessed to grow up in Wyandotte County. Graduated from Washington High School in the class of '99. I'm not old. Don't worry about that. But I've been blessed to work with people like Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, Migos, and a whole bunch of other people. I'm a product of the city, and I learned a lot from here. And if it wasn't for the people that laid the foundation, I wouldn't even have got where I am. And I'm just blessed to be here. So thank you.
How y'all doing? My name is Steve Carter from Wyandotte County. I'm actually from South of Cordero, so straight to the neighborhood. I own a company called Woke Guy. This is my clothing brand right here. I'm a general contractor in the local area, and I want to tell y'all something. This is where the change is gonna start right now. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have people to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jay, Joe, we go way back. I don't want to sit here preaching, but I watched these days talk about nothing. We came from 12th Street. I'm from 12th Street. I barely graduated high school. Now you looking at a black man who owns a construction company, owns a fashion brand, and I got movies on it. So I'm not trying to say any of that to brag or be braggadocious. I'm letting you know we came from nothing. I'm from 2414 North Church Street is where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Dope heads all in my house. You know what I mean? Prayer and the Most High is the only reason I got here. So, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys, my name is Jermaine James. So I grew up. There's my bus driver right there. 21st in Quindaro. So you already know our family was a little rugged too. But St. Margaret's, 21st in Quindaro, 31st in Brown. I actually own a construction company as well. I actually have a Women Flip 2 investment where I teach women how to obtain sustainable income through real estate. Most of my work is in Wyandotte County. It's primarily where I do all my work, so people know, hey, you want to flip over in Wyandotte County? Call Jamia. But it's just a lot of vacant houses, right? So it's a lot of vacant houses. I rehab these houses. My mama, we always grew up in Section 8, like all the Section 8s. We were in like, I think I went to every school almost, but in every like Argentine, graduated from Washington, went to Hawthorne, Emerson, Quindaro. I'm all through here, so I know what it feels like to not be able to afford a home or have your landlord kick you out just because they feel like it. So my thing is making these homes affordable because they can be affordable. You can still profit and make these homes affordable for families. So I'm here. I want to give back. I want to be a part of the movement. I need him to win just because it's too hard for me to get the incentives that I need to really fix these houses and develop like I want. I actually want to build communities here, but the tax abatement process, the incentives, we don't have the same incentives that Jackson County has, but that's why I'm here. So I'm looking forward to this. Whatever y'all need, I'm here for you. I'm excited about it, so thank you.
I appreciate y'all so much for that introduction. No apologies needed because we need to set the tone. Because what we're dealing with is an ecosystem that requires this type of energy, right? Yes, sir. And so when he's giving you that energy, I might not necessarily give you that energy real time, but he's on this at all times. And so you need someone that you can consult with, someone that can give you wise counsel about the data and what's really happening in the community. So I make sure that I surround myself with some of the smartest people in the universe because I don't have the capacity to do and know everything. And so for me, tonight is only about you to be able to meet the people that we are working with every day to come up with solutions and have come up with solutions. And these people are not playing. They have receipts and you can Google them. Okay? So that makes sense to me. So one of the most important things to me, one of my points is youth development. It's very important that because we are all products of the lack of youth development. Meaning that we come from a community that people were not willing to pour into us the information, the resources that we needed in order to tackle some of the bigger issues that we deal with today. And we are products of that. And so as we are 20, 30 years later of the same people doing the same thing, what we have agreed to is to roll up our sleeves and do what we're uniquely qualified to do. And they just gave you a little bit of that. So just going back to youth development, I think it's extremely important that when we talk about developing the youth, you actually have you to be able to develop. And you actually understand what it means to develop you. And it's not always you saying something. Sometimes, more times than not, it's you exposing them to environments that we didn't have access to. We have these real conversations every single day about our group of peers, our demographic, right? That no one talked to us about civic engagement. No one took us to City Hall. We never knew that commissioners exist. We never knew that the mayors exist. We never knew any of this. Now, I'm a little angry on the inside that I missed out on all of that good stuff, because here I am 30 years later, 38 years later, and still being prepared this hill, right? And had we been in those places years ago, we would know what to do even more now, right? And so what I'd like to do, just going back to youth development, what I'd like to do is paint a picture of how, if you have a group that's willing to, and it's not just us, of course, if you have a group that's willing to break the chains, you can learn the other stuff. People say I'm too young to do this and too young to do that because I don't have enough of this and enough of that. But as long as we have us, then we have all we need. And that's important to me. So just going back to youth development, I work with a lot of people who actually claim that they develop youth. And so I'm always trying to understand what's the process in developing youth. Because there is a process. There is data, there is studies that shows that, right? And we all know that as we work with youth, we know what that looks like. So, what I'd like to ask you, Joe, because I know you're heavily involved with the youth. With these young guys right here, what I'd like you to do is just talk about the work that you've been doing and how important it is to engage the youth.
So again, I graduated in 99, and there were no programs for what I wanted to do growing up. So we had it was either basketball, football, that was it, right? So those are our pathways to go to college. We didn't know about a lot of things that we all talked about. So when I went off to pursue my career after my basketball career, I realized that I was having some success working on the Ariana Grandes and all the people. And I came back home because my father was on the decline, and I was like, man, let me see what's going on. I've been Grammy nominated, I haven't been home like that in a long time. There's a lot of things going on. So I went to my old middle school, Coronado Middle School, and then I went to Washington High School, and I asked them the question. I said, hey, do you guys have any programs? What are the programs for the kids? And they said they didn't have any. And I'm like, man, I graduated in 99, and y'all still don't have programs for the kids to be successful or to do anything. So instead of being somebody that just like, oh well, I'm in LA, I'm living my life, for me it was my mission to make sure that you all had the future, that's what I like to call them. You all had the opportunity to pursue the career that you desired. And so what kind of man would I be if I didn't bring my resources back home when I was begging for those resources when I was growing up? So I created an audio engineering school. I created content creation, videography, photography, and we have graphic design. Everything is certified, comes with college credits as well. I came to Wyandotte County, I hate to put it to you like this, I came to Wyandotte County, I sat with the board, I gave them the outline of the program that I wanted to bring. I'm a black man, I'm from here, I've had success, I've done all these things, and I was willing to bring other people in that had money to help facilitate things, and they blocked it. And so I I had an opportunity to do a couple of things. I could have stopped and been upset, been pissed off, and not move the mission forward, but I did, because it's too many of y'all, like we said, if we don't do it, who is gonna do it? We can't keep looking for everybody else to do things for us. We can't keep saying, well, we gotta create our own opportunities. We can start with a little small beginnings. There's nothing wrong with small beginnings. Fortunately, when I had that board meeting, I met with the board, there was other schools that were paying attention. And so I had a guy from De La Salle, his name is Sean Stalin. He asked me to come over and talk to him about the program. I talked to him about the program. He said, I want to do it. He set it up. I've been teaching at De La Salle since 2022. And the program is taking kids from 67% attendance rate to 98% attendance rate. And we have a 100% graduation rate. I went from having 10 kids, I'm serving 50 kids a semester now. We're changing, we're watching the shift happen. The shift happens because I'm not coming in as a teacher, I'm coming in in partnership. We are in partnership. We want to talk business, well, let's teach our kids business. Let's talk about how, listen, I'm not your dictator. I'm not your authority. I'm not your we are in business together. Let's teach them what business looks like. Let's teach them how to get to the bag really looks like. Let's teach them about all the things that they need to know instead of them not being equipped with what they need. I didn't even know, I was just finding out a few years ago about our history. How many know, I didn't even know that the Quindaro ruins was even a thing. Why didn't you just found out this year. How did we graduate and nobody even took us there? How did we graduate and nobody even talked to us about the legacy of that comes from Kansas City, Wyandotte County? We're not talking about Kansas City, Missouri, we're talking about Wyandotte County. We're talking about how slaves were being freed from Wyandotte County. And we don't even know our history. We don't even know who we are. So how do we continue to move forward if we don't even know who we are? Right? We don't know the power that we hold, right? So it's it was my obligation and my duty, and I believe that God gave me this mission to do this, to move this forward. I've been told no. Even though I present them just like any major corporation would present, I have the data. I've done the research. I've equipped myself. I have the knowledge. I have the whereabouts. They have the data. And that's the funny thing. The school district has the data, and they still don't want to move forward with certain programs. It drives me crazy. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I got to sit down with Quincy Jones, and he said this to me, and this is what changed my whole perspective of a lot of things in my life. I met with Quincy at his house. Quincy said, "Joe, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Kansas City, Missouri." He says, "I'm mad at Kansas City." I was like, "Why are you mad at Kansas City, Q?" He's like, "Because y'all forgot y'all's history. Y'all forgot who y'all are." He said, "I used to be on Quindaro. I used to be on 12th Street. He used to be on Quindaro, right?" He's like, "I was there. That was where music was happening. We were Vegas before Vegas." Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Kansas City, Wyandotte County was Vegas before Vegas. Entertainers was here. They were spreading the love. People came to Kansas City to get the vibes, not going to LA or Atlanta or anywhere else. We were here. So remember that. We gotta know our history. We gotta take that history and move it forward. And we gotta continue, quit blocking the programs that are changing kids' lives. Because I'm seeing it in real life. I'm seeing my kids come to me, they're eating. You know what? I buy them food. I don't ask the school to buy them food. I buy them food because guess what? That may be their last meal. How many of us don't understand that some of these kids are acting the way that they are acting because they are hungry. They are angry. They are upset. You know? Some of these kids don't have opportunities to go to the gym anymore. We used to go to JFK. We used to go down to Bethany. We could go. We have that resource. Where are those resources at for our kids now? Where are the programs? What's going on? Where's the facilities? Where are the doors? Where are the churches? Well, I thought the churches should be opening doors, right? And we talk about community, churches should be opening their doors too. So I can go on and on, but my mission right now, I'm building a facility, and I have to do it on the MO side right now, but we're coming, because it's not me, it's we, all right? There's nothing that I can do without the help of other people. It's more hands than just my hands. That's why I love the slogan. It's we. It's not I, it's we. And so we're building this thing, we're building a facility, it's a state-of-the-art facility that we're building. 4 recording studios, content creation space, computer labs, event space, coffee shop, rooftop. All these things come from a board from Wyandotte County.
Joe, let me jump in.
Yes, sir.
Listen, all in which the things that we beg for, all the things that we ask for these babies, he's doing it already. So it's important that we bring the people in the community that are already doing the work, not talking about doing the work. That's why this panel was important to me, because these are the questions that I get every day. These are the questions that are asked of me as commissioner. What do you plan to do? How do you plan to bring those resources, those programs back into our community? And I always scratch my head because it's still in the community. You have to listen to the people because these are the same people that come from the community. And so, Joe, I appreciate you. Continue to keep doing what you're doing because you truly are a blessing. I have seen you in action, and the conversations that we have truly inspire me and keep me going. So I appreciate you. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We talked about those points, right? Talked about youth development, which is a main focus for me, but I wanted to show how we could actually get there, and I actually wanted to show the process of what it takes in order to get there. And that same program that Joe has available is the same program that we can wash, rinse, recycle, and repeat it right here in this county. All right, so we're gonna shift gears a little bit. We're gonna move to affordable housing. What does affordable housing look like? Because it's changed in the last 3 to 5 years. Affordable is not so affordable anymore. As I'm having conversations with real estate agents, real estate investors, real estate developers, and I have a background in real estate development. As I'm having these conversations continuously, and Scott, it's good to see you. We just had a conversation yesterday, I think it was, about how do we create something sustainable housing-wise for youth, right? But there is a rising unhoused population that needs to be taken care of. And so those are the issues that we have to tackle. And if we don't put together people that understand what that looks like and have been doing the work, then we're not going to be able to do that. And it takes somebody to be in that seat to listen to the people that are doing the work and then execute on it. Now, I know Mr. Criswell, you say, is going to take 9, right?
What?
9, the number 9? Is that what you said, remember?
No.
What number did you say, remember?
You don't remember?
I know it, I should have remembered. 6, sorry, I know it was 6 or 9. I know it was 6 or 9. I was close. That's right. It's upside down. Mr. Criswell, and it's funny because the first town hall we had here, it was a mock vote, and it was other candidates from District 1. And when I was here, this was my first town hall, and I remember Mr. Criswell saying that all of these ideas that we have, these concepts that we have, they are amazing, right? They're ambitious, but do we have what it takes in order to get the rest of the people on board? The other votes that it takes in order for you to do some of these ambitious ideas and things of that nature. And as I think about that, yes, you're right, Mr. Criswell. It does take that number in order to do.
You want to explain what I meant, like if you can count to 6, because maybe some people.
Thank you, Mr. Criswell. There are a certain amount of the commissioners that are there, and we all have to agree. At least 6 of us have to agree. Is that right, Mr. Criswell?
That's right.
Okay. At least 6 of us have to agree on some of the major projects that happen here in the community. And so I'll get back to shifting gears. Some of the main conversations that they're having is, how do we provide for the youth? How do we create sustainable housing? How do we clean up the community? Because it's extremely trashy. How do we do that? And so as I shift gears to affordable housing, someone that's in the housing sector, Jamia, could you talk to me a little bit about what you're doing in the community and then what you're seeing as it pertains to affordable housing?
All right, so affordable housing. So me, I don't really use the term affordable housing just because they think you cheap when you say affordable housing. I just make my things affordable, right? I'm a single mom of 3 kids, so no pun intended to Section 8 or any of that. It just, I never got on Section 8. I just never got it. I just always worked, even if I had to have 2 or 3 jobs. So I build for those families that are single parents but in the workforce. So what I mean by that is, if we have a vacant houses issue, right? That's mostly what I do is vacant houses. There's so many vacant houses around here. I get lists where the lights and stuff have been cut off for about 5 years plus. So the house is abandoned, it's looking ugly in neighborhoods, bringing down the value, but I can't contact the owner. So there needs to be something put in place where these owners, there's no HOA, I got an HOA, I don't like it, but I'm not saying that we need that, but we do need somebody to hold these neighborhoods accountable for houses in the market. So we can actually develop for people that are actually developing for the people in the community. So like I created this program basically where a family can keep their abandoned house in their family's name by like me taking it over and doing seller financing. So I come with creative financing options to where if you can't normally get a conventional loan, your credit, might be trash for whatever reason, you got your income taxes, you can put down $2,500, $5,000 and be able to afford a mortgage payment. So kind of like creating more programs to make these houses affordable, but being able to get houses from the land bank and not have a hard time or develop on the land and get tax abatement. So the thing with the land development is we went to class to develop, I told them like, oh yeah, we're about to develop some houses till I pitched my plan to Wyandotte County and they didn't want to give me no tax abatement. So I'm like, I'm trying to fix these townhouses, and y'all don't even want to give me a tax abatement for 10 years, but over Missouri, they got the Affordable Housing Trust, they got the tax abatement, they got the EDC that gives you incentives, like they basically, you get a house for free. And it's like, so why would I come build over in Wyandotte County? And it's like, I'm telling you I'm from here, but if an outside investor, comes out here, they're not gonna make these houses affordable for your family. So get with local investors and think about ways like, hey, if I sell you this house, like, will you sell it back to me? Can you sell or finance it? Like, come up with creative financing programs. So with the sustainable income that I came up with, because of course I'll be having family talking to me, trying to get in my houses, so I'll be trying to make stuff for them and trying to take in their lives. I shouldn't have to, but I feel like with these programs, if we teach people by having different programs at centers about, like, anybody in here already built business credit? 1, 2, 3, 4. Business credit. Anybody start building business credit? So I didn't find out about business credit until I was 35. So my daughter can start building business credit at 18. Like, she's about to buy a car with her business credit. So why don't we have communities in here talking about business credit, starting LLCs? If your son already out there mowing lawns or your daughter doing hair, get them LLC. Or do some type of incentive, but be able to create these programs to where you got this extra income coming in, put line on your taxes, just do what you gotta do, get the business license, be able to deposit the money from the hair into your business account, so that way you have that extra income. But I don't like casting fault on us because nobody told us. I only know how to do it because I'm not scared to fail. But single mom, I can only fail so much. So by creating these programs and making these houses affordable, I don't know, the Hispanics, they've been running out and I can't even find them. These houses are just sitting. So if we start coming out to these houses, it's not that I should see, and no pun to the Hispanics, I got Mexican people in my family too. But when I look at these houses, it's more Hispanics owning houses than black people. Like, whenever I talk to people in the community, they always are renting. And then, so affordable housing is just creating incentives and programs and having people that are invested in bringing up the community and making it affordable for us, the workforce. So That's what I'm doing.
So that's so good. Thank you for sharing that. The other point for me was economic empowerment. You can't do anything without economics. Shout out to Mr. Covington for that. Because he has always put it in my head that before you can do anything, right? Yeah, you can dream a little bit, right? But before you can put that dream to work, you gotta have some economics to go along with that. And that comes with a plan. How do you plan to get there, right? How do you plan to raise the money to do what you need to do? And so that was the economic empowerment piece. So we had youth development, we had affordable housing, and then we're gonna shift gears again to economic empowerment. I want to bring Steve to the mic because Steve knows a little bit about economics. He's somebody that I call a ghost because you never know what he got going on. It's always something in a good way, but you just never know. He'll just pop up with it. Like, you know, I own like 6 houses. I've been knowing you for 20 years and then I had 1 house. Which is good because the creator always knows how to bring us back full circle. That's right. And so we had a conversation about real estate development. And I was thankful that I got an opportunity to be able to share some information with somebody I consider to be a big brother, somebody who is extremely wise, and he's always pouring into me. And so for me to get an opportunity to pour into the people that pour into me, I was excited about that. I worked for the planning and zoning department for the unified government. And while I was there, I got an opportunity to learn some things. I got an opportunity to understand how we can develop in our communities. I got an understanding of who's developing in our communities and why they still look the way they do. Just by listening and observing and spending time with certain people that are in high places, because I hear the people in the community that talk about the injustice, why we don't have access to properties, why we don't have access to safe neighborhoods and safe parks and amenities and things of that nature. Just going back to economic empowerment. And so as I sit up here with all of these individuals who understand economics, Jermaine just gave out a good point of how do we get the youth involved. Her daughter now is 18, and by the time she's our age, she should be a multi-millionaire with that plan. 100%, right? So if we had them same resources growing up as kids and we had access to that, we would be funding our own campaigns.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So what I've noticed is that within the commissioners and within the mayor, I always like to look behind people to see what they're building. Is it just them or do they have something behind them? And what I've noticed is that it's went on far too long where we are in these positions, but we're not building a pipeline. Let me take that back. We're not building the right pipeline. There's always a pipeline to prison. There's always that thing, but is there a pipeline to financial literacy? Is there a pipeline to real estate development? Is there a pipeline to entrepreneurship? Is there a pipeline to youth development and entertainment and being a political savant? Like, is engineer, like that's, we hear basketball, football, entertainment. We hear a lot of that, but we don't hear about economic empowerment. We don't hear about youth development, and we don't hear about how we can be creative in the housing sector. And more importantly, we don't implement any of it. So, again, as we shift gears to my last point, because I know it's getting late, it's economic empowerment. The only way to empower yourself economically is not by waiting on the government to provide, but doing exactly what these individuals have already done, and some of you that are here today are already doing. You have to take actions into your own hands, because I am only but one man. I agree to partner with you, but I don't agree to do anything for you. I agree to guide you. I agree to point you in the right direction. But at the end of the day, you gotta work your hands. You got to take the first step. And the first part of that is empowerment. How you choose to empower yourself, that's for you and God to discuss. But you need to empower yourself, because as we know it, the government is not doing what we think they should do. They are not coming to save us at any point or time. So you have to have somebody who, one, understands what it means to be human. Do you care about the people you serve? Are you thinking about their best interests? Even when it doesn't have anything to do with you? Are you thinking that when you are in those rooms making those decisions, you're thinking about the people that are in the community, the conversations that you have every day? Are you thinking about when we make decisions as commissioners, mayors, or any elected officials, before we made that decision, did we think about the people that we talk to every single day and what they deal with? Do we think about that? So just to end off with economic empowerment, Steve, I want you to talk a little bit about Woke God, how you started Woke God, and why it's important to change your mindset.
First and foremost, I gotta excuse my language, but you gotta get up off your ass. All that waiting on a miracle, that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Excuse my French, you know, if we gonna talk, I gotta be real with y'all, because that's all the fluff ain't gonna work with the youth. We gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? You look, I'm from 12th to Quindale. I came from nothing. Barely graduated high school, selling crack, and I had to make a choice. You see what I'm saying? To start a business. I took what I knew illegally, made it legal. But I gotta be real with y'all. I can't just sit up here and say, oh, this just happened overnight. Nah, you gotta put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Woke guy. I'm not really the church guy. No disrespect to anybody in the church, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to clown. Woke guy is when I woke up and got on my purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is, and that's all of us. That's not just one race, that's all of us. The only way we're gonna get to this point is by love, and you gotta love yourself first. You see what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I didn't have people to talk to. I didn't have nobody to show me business. You know what I'm saying? I came from a very broken home, so I know what these brothers and these kids is going through. So we gotta be that voice for them, and we gotta cut the shit and be real with them. The way I heal people and help them is I tell them my mistakes. You gotta face the mirror and talk about the stuff you don't want to talk about. That's why relationships don't work. That's why racism is still out here, because we don't want to let go of all the hate and just be real. You see what I'm saying? And you think God's gonna step into your life and bless you if you ain't being real with yourself? Come on, man. That's what Woke God is about. You gotta wake the fuck up. Seriously. Love yourself. I see love in this room. You see what I'm saying? I see people who want to learn. And that's where it's gonna start. I got 3 LLCs. LLCs ain't hard, but nobody's gonna teach us. You gotta be wanting to put in the work. I'm willing to talk to anybody about business, even the parents, because it starts in the homes also. It starts with the parents, because I had to teach my parents about credit. They couldn't teach me that because they didn't know it. You see what I'm saying? We got to put the pride to the side and love and learn. You see what I'm saying? Because I watched this brother come from nothing. Now he in politics. Wow. We come from the streets and now we're in politics. And this is what we have to do as men. We don't want to give each other no props. I love these people up here. I love the fuck out of y'all. I don't even really know y'all. But that's the witness you got to be on if you want change in your life. I'm so proud of these brothers right here because I know his backstory. I know his story. If to see where they at right now, this is a blessing, and this is how God works, but you got to believe in yourself and you got to work together. It can't be no fluff shit. I don't do none of that fake shit. Excuse me for cussing. Just bleep that shit out. But this is how it works. You know what I'm saying? I love you, brother. I'm so proud of you, man. Because I remember when this brother was going through his change years ago when everybody thought you was crazy. Guess what? They thought I was crazy too. Now look where these 2 crazy motherfuckers is at. You see what I'm saying? And once again, I excuse my language, but this come from a place of love. You looking at a black man who's battling depression, tried to kill my stepfather twice, tried to kill me, come from a broken home, crackheads everywhere. You can't tell me God over because he's right here in this room right now. You see what I'm saying? And I'm still a work in progress. But we have to be what we didn't have. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So My brother, I love you, man. I'm sorry about that rant, y'all. Excuse me for the
And
language.
no apologize I needed. I brought you in here for I know you. So I was worried about that. He's not the type of person you let me on speakerphone. You never know when it come out of his mouth. But all seriousness, God, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I don't have to say it anymore. You've already said it. But to me, it's important that if I'm running, it's important that I'm my authentic self.
Yes.
And it's important that I bring the people with me that have been there since day one but have evolved. That's important. It's also important that while we're evolving and while we've come out of this community, it's important that we show the others how they can do it as well. By just being an example, right? By just answering questions. If you want to know where to find something at, hey, just ask the question because we're here to lean on each other. And for us to grow up as kids and still be connected in this way and continuously evolving, it says a lot about not just who we are, but the people that have been there in our corners and made sacrifices for us every day.
Can I say this too? I think it's very important that we, Juice said something that really this has been more I've been in my life right now. Having real conversations with people is very important. Being transparent with people is very important. The reason why is because a lot of people don't know what you're going through. And so while they're looking at you online and you're arguing with them and you're debating with them online, they don't know what's really happening and they're speaking on from their point of view. I had a white guy arguing with me online. I said, hey, listen, I got one even better for you. Instead of arguing online, why don't you come to where I'm at and let's have a conversation, man to man, and look each other in the face and have this conversation. And guess what he did? He came. We had a conversation. He got to sit in my dream. He got to sit at the vision that God gave for me and said, what are you doing over here? I said, I'm changing the narrative of my community. Right? And so they only know what they know. Black people, a lot of us are stuck in what mama and grandma and everybody else taught us, and I come to find out a lot of stuff they learned from their grandma and their grandpa, and a lot of that stuff was wrong. Unfortunately. I love our older generation, but a lot of us were guided in the wrong way, and we only knew certain things. And that is not our parents' fault, but it's up to us to have those I have to have hard conversations with my mom. I have to have hard conversations about the way we eat. We can't complain about not being healthy and we not eating the right way. It's so many things that we just need to have a transparent conversation, a transparent moment in life and time, and realize that we all really want the same thing. And that's what, when I sit down with that man, I said, hey, listen, I'm not here to debate with you, but I'm going to tell you my perspective, because this is what I come from. This is what I dealt with growing up. I didn't have the resources. And he told me his perspective. I said, see, listen, I see what you want, you see what I want. We just going about, you see it this way, you like the Republican side. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm right there because I don't believe in either really right now. Just being honest with you. I believe in the truth, and that's what we need to get down to more. It's the truth. Let's get down to the facts. Let's get down to the data. Let's talk about real things that the lies that they're telling to our people, the lies that they're telling to other communities, and everybody else. They're keeping us divided because that's what we know. Divide and conquer. That's all they've been doing. It's nothing new. Divide and conquer.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Hey, Jay, I want to add one more thing.
Yes, sir.
It's never too late to start anything. That's what I want to leave y'all with. It's never too late. I started my clothing brand. I'm 45 years old. I started it at 43. You see what I'm saying? I'm working on the Netflix deal right now at 45 years old. So it's never too late to start anything. No matter what age you are or race you are, it's never too late. That's it.
Appreciate you, God. So, we want to end my guy on the rail. I want to say this. Sure, we didn't talk about property taxes. Sure, we didn't talk about BPU. And sure, we didn't talk about the corruption that happens in the unified government. We all know that it exists. It exists. We know that, right? So we don't want to keep talking about the same things. What we do want to do is we want to put together solutions. right? We want to be able to move away from what the unified government, I wouldn't say what they're doing, because we all have to work together as partners, but we have to start focusing on how to build our own ecosystem, our own government, if you will, right? How about I'll come purchase food from you, Mr. Barnes, instead of going to McDonald's? Small things. Or how about I send my kids to you, Joe, instead of sending them to a school that may not be giving them the proper education that they need.
We can't be afraid of that.
Okay. Or why don't I send the youth to Jamia, because she's educating and showing what economic empowerment looks like? Or why don't I send you to Steve Revolt God and get your mindset right and get some toughness in you and get some real love? That's what we're offering, and that's what this community needs. We need to be healed first, and then we can tackle the property taxes and BPE and everything that comes with it. And that's a part of it, right? But if you're not healed, you're not even mentally prepared to tackle those issues, which is why we're so dysfunctional today. And so what I offer is, I just offer, at times, sane humans that care about the community, care what happens to the people that are in the community, and not just trying to line their pockets up, because it's a lot of that going on. Where can I make $1 at? The real question should be, where can I serve? And for me, that's what I've been doing my entire life. I've been serving at a high capacity, because anytime you're serving for a higher power, you're always serving at a high capacity. But now for me, I thought I'd try an even higher capacity to serve from Fairfax to 62nd and Leavenworth Road. I thought I'd try my hand at it. Why? Because I've taken the necessary steps. I've been put through the fire at 38. You don't have to be old to know something or know how to do something, right? My wisdom is in this room today. As I look at Mr. Covington, which I love him dearly, he'll come up here and close. But before I knew what any of this was, he would just kind of take me around and we'd go to meetings. And I'm an athlete, so I like to wear shorts and sweats and things of that nature. And I used to always, do I gotta dress up to go? Yeah, you gotta dress up to go. We gotta show up a certain way. We gotta look a certain way. We gotta present ourselves, right? Because the first impression is everything. And so we just want to make sure that when we're in that seat, we are doing right by the people, and we're taking the necessary steps to not have all the answers, to not necessarily know what the next steps are for revenue neutral. That's important as well, but at the same time, we have to think about other economic avenues outside of just depending on one, because there's multiple. And we have to change our mindset and sit at the table and say, okay, what did you come up with? Well, I noticed that this was going on. We should try this. Last night we had a meeting, a commission's meeting, and it was about revenue neutral. And I got an opportunity to sit in on it and see how the commission and mayors conduct business. Because that's what they're usually doing, conducting business. And as I listened to them go back and forth about revenue neutral and what that's going to look like, and as I heard the neighbors, the people that are in the community cry out about how they can't afford to pay their property taxes. Seniors who are being taxed out of their properties. Seniors who are on a fixed income only receive so much money, but then the property taxes are far higher than the income that they have. There's a problem with that, especially when they've worked extremely hard to pay that house off and own it, and it be clear and free. That's happened because we have failed to really focus on the needs and we fail to plan 10, 20, 30 years out. We're only planning for now, which is why we're in the predicament now. You have to have people that are forward thinkers and that are willing to work with the wisdom that's in the community, that understands the layout of this community, understands the culture of this community, and how we can all work together, whether it's classic or whether it's the youth at the table that's just so active. I see y'all fellas. We gotta keep them busy, because you get anybody, this is how the school looks, when you get them in an environment for so long, they get real fidgety and don't know how to really sit still. And that's okay, because you're active. That's what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, as we are conducting business, there's a way we should operate. There's a way we should show up. There's a way in which when we show up in certain environments, we should be proud to show up in First District. We should be proud to show up as our authentic selves. And more importantly, we should be proud to know that we actually have an opportunity to change what we see today. It doesn't have to be like this, but it's going to be like this. We have an opportunity to change the way things look today. And we don't have to wait. But again, it has to be a we thing and not a me thing. That's important to know. So, if we're walking in that way, if we are focused on the processes, the way in which we do things, the system that we operate in, which is the unified government system, which you have to understand the ins and outs of that system, and then also understand who to bring in to understand the ins and outs of that system. And then at that point, once we've done that, we've done our research, we've brought the people in to provide the resources, to provide the information, and the skill sets to be able to work in these environments. Because a lot of why they are not hiring us, meaning the people, is because they feel like we don't have the skill set. They feel like we're not equipped with the skill set to execute on these jobs. And I beg to differ, because there's a lot of amazing humans, there's a lot of talented, bright humans that are in the Northeast, that are in Wyandotte County, and we are not taking advantage of that. And everybody's leaving and going elsewhere. And it doesn't have to be far, they're just leaving. So I'm thankful for a Jacob Handy, I'm thankful for a Joe Mack, I'm thankful for a Steve Carter, Jermaine James, Jay Morrell. I'm thankful for y'all because they chose to stay and pour into their communities, and they're going to continue to stay and pour in their communities.
Oh man, that's really good.
I don't even know what to say. He said a lot. He said a lot.
I just know what's going on.
He said a lot. So as we close, thank you for that, Morrell. These are the conversations that I have with him almost every day, and I gotta hear it too, y'all.
Yeah, you know.
It's not just y'all, I hear it too.
I call him on the phone.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes. So these are the conversations that we're having every day because we're only forward thinking. We're not thinking about just becoming commissioned. There's other ways you can make changes. There's a lot of other ways. You don't have to be an elected official. But I think it's important that you identify what your purpose is and what you were uniquely created to do. So as I close, I want to call Mr. Covington up here.
Hey, listen, all I can say is it's been fire in this room, right? Mr. Howard, thank you. Hear me? Thank you for stepping up. Thank you. It's the Joshua generation's turn. You hear me? That's why y'all here. You all, right? Y'all be from the
Yeah.
You all, number 9. Okay? Y'all our future. See? They took over our future, now y'all gonna take over their future, right? So y'all have to listen to what they saying, because I want each one of you all to get into a trade. I come from shooting that jump. Hey, look, they got me out together. It saved my life. They said I was from the prison or the morgue. You hear me? That's why I'm scared. That pill saved my life. But I didn't have this group rapping to me about economics. See, if you got economics, y'all can paint, drywall, y'all can make a little bread in between games. Pick up $17 an hour, working with my man in six. Y'all who in the industry, you got a minute, right? So y'all take advantage of what happened today. This is for you all. Never said youth development. Y'all example. Affordable housing. Control Northeast. Control Northeast. If we don't control it, everybody who don't look like us will control it, right? With this unified group, once a month, we take the best of us and we communicate. We take the best of us once a month and we communicate, right? Then we can get as much land and real estate as we need, right? In close, my passion. One people power. There's a lot of history to come through this town. That's why it was red line. You guys we come from black power. You know what I'm saying? My great-grandfather was a farmer. He fed everybody, hogs and cows and all that from right here in this town. We would be up at 5 in the morning picking up seed and stuff down on 3rd Street, right? But here's my point. We living in the spirit of the ancestors. So you gotta grab it and we gotta do what we supposed to do, right? First we get him in office. Yeah. Right? That's the first thing, right? So everybody gravitate to this is a fundraiser, so make a contribution. If you can make a contribution, make a contribution. Second, this is a rally for us to come together, and everybody here should be supporting as a volunteer. If you can do 2 hours a week, if you can do 1 hour a week, you give him some time, and you get out and you move his signs, and you support them when we're doing these walks. How many agree to help? My hand, how many agree to help? Anybody else? I don't see my hand. Anybody else? All right, I appreciate y'all help, okay? In close. Economics. Economics, without it, we can have all these powerful speeches and everybody excited and we phone. But without a way to generate economics, and we all moving in different fields, right? But we gotta be in this one thing, right? That one people power, it's not a radical thing, and it's not racist if we move as a black people. I don't even want to call it, look, as Asiatic people, right? Hey, it's time. Bust it up, right? We started renewing up our mind, right? So let's move as one. We don't always have to agree with one another, right? Respect each other's disagree, right? Focus on economics, deal with real estate, deal with music, youth development. Let's support Brother Howard, and let's get in his arms. Okay? Praise the Lord. Peace and power.
Hey, to this table of young men.
Oh yeah, get him.
I looked at y'all real quick, okay? And I'm gonna tell you this as I talked to him. Y'all go to school in Wyandotte County? How many of y'all have SRO officers in y'all building? School resource officers, the police?
Oh yeah.
That ain't normal. Y'all are the only school district that has a police department. And I got fired because they were pipelining our kids to prison. So when he say he need help, y'all need to have y'all hands up, because he gonna be the one to go to bat for y'all. So if I'm volunteering, I get paid. So if I'm volunteering for free, because I charge $250 for 1 hour consultations. Yeah, but I'm gonna do it for him for free. So y'all just need to get involved. I ain't to put y'all on the spot, but I'm like, I wish somebody like this talked to me and came up to bat. Like, he'll probably go to y'all schools if y'all got in trouble. The network, when they say your network is your network, y'all know a commissioner.
That's right.
That's a big deal. So if he's saying he need a couple hours, give him 5. Because what y'all doing anyway, y'all community centers is closed. park one, they ain't got no chairs down there. I took my kids. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna fight for y'all to have better stuff to kick it. Y'all don't even know what night hoops is. Y'all remember night hoops? Epidemic. Ask y'all people about night hoops. They had tournaments, they was balling. They don't even have that no more. So we trying to bring that back for y'all.
Sure. So we gonna do that with you. Young fellas, I hope y'all taking heed to that.